sorry. I hope that with time, Tony's family and friends can search their hearts to render some measure of forgiveness. I realize that in order for us to achieve greater strides in community-based policing, the cornerstone for making that a reality starts with us earning your trust. I want that to happen. The department wants it to happen desperately. Remember, we live here, work here, blah, 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 all that kind of stuff.
You know, it's so easy for young people to just be anti-establishment.
Isn't that the role of young people?
It's harder to think critically about the situation and react appropriately.
Totally agree.
So it's just, it's almost, you're almost a caricature of yourself when you don't know facts or you're ignoring facts and you're taking part in something like that. Murder!
Yeah. Yeah. Without in any way. And you're just jumping to that conclusion based on the moment or based on whatever's going around you. And that's probably the most discouraging and frustrating part about this. When a narrative gets thrown out there to the public who isn't interested in, they don't care about the facts. They'll boo the facts. They don't care. All they know is one of theirs was taken down by the man, by the racist X. And that's the story that's run with. We saw it in Ferguson. Hands up, don't shoot. Well, when forensics came back from the Department of Justice, from all the 3 individual autopsies unrelated from the department, which is untrustworthy, of course. Why would they be trustworthy? But then you get independent ones who all said the same thing. His hands weren't up, and he wasn't shot in the back as he was running away, just trying to get away. But that narrative was still pushed out there as if that was real. And that's so anyway, they say Officer Kenny recognizes that the family has suffered a tragic loss regardless of the circumstances, which sounds a little odd to me. I mean, I understand what they're doing. They're trying to just keep, this is not about, wow, this innocent child was gunned down. This is about, don't bring a riot to our neighborhood. We do not need a Ferguson Part 2 in Madison. How do we make sure that doesn't happen?
Yeah, we're sympathetic to the idea that a kid's life is gone and snuffed out.
Key to that sentence, though, is regardless of the circumstances. In other words, we know what the circumstances were, so we're not going to apologize for the action that took place. However,
kid's dead.
Kid's dead. So for that, the fact that a life is no longer here that was here 2 days ago, we feel bad for that. And okay, that's fair. April 25th of last year, Robinson was arrested. So this is, just a prince of a guy. Wouldn't hurt a fly is all we heard all weekend. Is he wouldn't hurt a fly. Sweetest guy you've ever known. April 25th of last year, he was arrested along with 3 other people in connection with 2 different burglaries at an apartment. First on April 21st, the second on the 25th. One of the apartment occupants, Timothy Brewster, was beaten on the head and face with a lead pipe. Okay, so that's the crew you're running with. Beating people in the face with lead pipes.
We know he was not the assailant, though, right? Or at least he wasn't charged.
He wasn't charged with that beating.
He was with the group.
He's with that group, right. And then he came back with that group, and they say, well, he didn't have the shotgun, but he had a replica gun in his pocket that was meant to be able to intimidate as he goes into a drug house to rob them, and ends up stealing stereos and a bunch of other shit. He didn't carry the shotgun, though. Okay, great. So we're going to side with him because he wasn't carrying the shotgun as a group of armed men. He ended up, as you said, pleading
guilty, dude.
Yeah, at 18 years old.
You don't just do that if you're an innocent guy.
Ridiculous. And, this idea, Charles Ramsey, Charles Ramsey, well, probably you don't, police chief in Philadelphia. He had an officer shot over the weekend, too, and visited him in the hospital. And this guy's laying there in the hospital and said, I've got a kid with a gun, fires at me, shoots me, and I'm hesitant to pull my gun. The only thing I can think of is the outrage in Ferguson. Is that how you want your cops acting on the streets? That's what he told his police chief. All I could think was Ferguson, so I didn't draw my weapon. And he's laying in the hospital with a bullet.
That is what these kids want, though. the kids that are protesting?
I don't understand this mentality of, it comes back to consequences for your actions. I'm not saying anybody's a saint, anyone's perfect. We all did stupid shit, especially young people. You do stupid shit, and when you get mixed up in stupid shit, there are consequences for that. We all know that. Why is it any different for anyone else? This idea that young black youth are being hunted by people. Well, why is it only half the race that's being hunted? What don't you think if it was truly just racism at its worst by evil white cops, then black women would also be targeted? Why is it exclusive to young black males? Is there something in the behavior that's going on, the interaction, trust issue or not? If you're ever going to get past it, we have to be able to discuss why is one tiny population always having this problem, and why is that being glorified? Why are we martyring people? And I'm right there with them. That's a tragic death. Anytime a 19-year-old is gunned down by anyone, it's a problem, let alone a cop, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah. This is so mind-bogglingly simple. It's hard to watch this and just these people that are completely ignoring the facts here.
Yeah.
And just an unarmed, that's all you need to hear now, I guess, is unarmed was shot.
Right.
Is the protest against cops having weapons? What is this about? Because if you're putting,
I'd love to know.
If you're putting the cop in danger of his life where he needs to defend himself, then he's going to do that. Does everybody understands that?
I thought
carrying
everybody
a service
did.
revolver.
Yeah. Yeah.
People use that. We've talked about this at length. You're right. This is a fucking redo of a show we did 6 months ago. It's unbelievable to me.
Yeah.
That this just constantly churns up and that people are spending their time marching and, throwing these phrases out that you don't know if it applies. If the facts come out and they're different, I'll be the first one to say, all right, man, that kid shouldn't have been shot. That was wrong.
Yeah. And we've done that
overreacted.
before. We've done that before. Where's your ID? A kid reaches into his car and gets shot, and we're going, fucking throw the guy in jail.
Mm-hmm.
Seriously, he's not immune to it. It's not. It's just we keep waiting for this because the news media, what the kids on the street protesting or the community that loves the FaceTime. Don't be fooled.
That's another point, man. How much of this is them wanting to inject themselves into something? They know it's going to get national attention. They know they can be on CNN, Fox News, whatever it is, every night, as long as you're right there in that protest. How much of this is that?
I think a lot of it, unfortunately.
This culture, these kids who constantly, want to have their names out on social media and shit, want to be part of something. They know shit can go viral. This is ingrained in them. And I think that's part of what draws them into these things rather than a real serious kind of civic commitment that you saw in the 60s.
Yeah.
A commitment to real change.
Yeah.
This is a commitment to, hey, get my 15 minutes of fame.
Mm-hmm.
Part of it, I think.
I think that's a large part of it. And that's just kind of the context of the world we live in with social media and the idea of going viral with things. You see it every day. People, you're going, what are you doing? Why would you think that you could post a picture like that? Why would you think that would be, I don't know what people are thinking, but I really don't know what you expect from people. Like they tase someone and that goes tragic. Like cops tase people all the time, shoot them with rubber bullets all the time. You only hear about it when a guy drops dead. Beanbags.
95-year-olds.
Justified shooting. He was not implicated. But you hear about it when shit goes south, and then it's like, why did they have to tase it? Why did they have to tase it? It's like, well, you don't want him to shoot him. You don't want it. What do you want him to do? Just let him go. And if I see one more person in a community going with a megaphone, they all got their megaphone, they ran out and got their megaphone to yell to the masses, this is unacceptable. You're killing our youth. This is unacceptable in my neighborhood. You killing our youth.
Teach your youth.
Yeah. My thought is, where are you screaming, this is unacceptable, when your shitty kid is smashing a guy over the face with a fucking lead pipe?
That's it, man.
Where is the unacceptable? This is unacceptable behavior to be robbing your neighbors.
This is unacceptable, child of mine.
Yeah.
Right? That's not how we act in the world. We don't react like that. We don't act like that to cops, people in authority.
Yeah.
It's just
like, I thought that was just like ingrained with everybody across the board, that everybody understands nobody likes interacting with the police. It means something's gone shitty. And now but there are only two ways that's going to go. You can be a dick and resist and roll the dice. You're rolling the dice at that point. You're taking chances that you don't need to take, or you can play ball another way. And you're either going to kill a cop or you're going to get killed in a lot of respects. And that just seems like such simple things to me. I'm not saying that people aren't unjustly gone after, or they're super nice in those situations. No, it's a tough job, man. I don't question them.
You have to remember, the cop doesn't know. Hindsight's real easy to go, oh, he was unarmed. He should have done something less than shoot him fatally. The cop doesn't know, and we don't know the facts right now, but let's assume that he's being assaulted by this kid physically. He doesn't know if he has a weapon. He doesn't know what more is to come. He is rightfully trying to defend himself.
Yeah.
It's assumed, at least.
Yeah.
Right now.
And then, you know, do we have the 911 calls, Timco? Were you able to find those?
I've got some of the audio.
Yeah. From the 911 calls.
Well, it's the police dispatch.
Yeah.
So this is the
that's what it is.
dispatch as he's playing Frogger, as you said yesterday, jumping out in the road.
Yep. Do I have it potted up? Do I have the right one there?
Radio 8, Radio 7, for a check person at 1125 Williamson Street. We're looking for a male black, light-skinned, tan jacket and jeans outside yelling and jumping in front of cars. 19 years of age, name is Tony Robinson. Currently he lives in McFarland. David 8 and David 7 are 17s no longer on scene. Apparently Tony hit one of his friends. No weapons seen. David 8, copy. Are they still in the area? I'm going to try to get a hold of our call taker, see if they are. Then David 7, our 17's not going to be remaining on scene. David 8, another caller, name of Lei Yang. Apparently he's the victim. We'll be waiting at the restaurant at 1146 Willie Street. Suspect's currently at the gas station near the area. No shirt on right now. David 8 and David 7 got another call for the same suspect. Went inside 1125 Williston Street. Tried to strangle another patron. David 7, he's still at the gas station, correct?
So they're getting call after call after call from people in the neighborhood going, he's jumping in and out of traffic. He assaulted this kid. He's now ran into this neighbor's house and is trying to strangle someone. That's the information the cops have. It's easy to sit back as we're watching this on TV like it's a TV show going, what would you do? And then from what we understand, and there's nothing to lead us to believe that the cop went in there with anything but, okay, situation I've been called to. And then the word is that he punched the officer in the face, knocked him to the ground, and that's when shit got ugly. Like, what do you think? How do you think that's going to play out? How would you like that to play out? I'm dead serious. I don't know what you expect from them.
Rope off the whole block and send in some tear gas. I don't know.
Or send in some counselors to talk him down and see if we can, like, is that the way to do it? Like, I just don't know.
Maybe someone in the interim.
Honestly, man, I'm serious. If I was a cop, I would seriously be thinking about changing profession.
Oh, for sure, man.
It's like if I was a teacher or a cop, those are two jobs that don't pay enough for what you do and what you bring to people, and they don't fucking give a shit about you.
Nurse too. I wouldn't want to wipe asses.
Yeah, I wouldn't
for
either.
the record.
But I just feel like, where did this become such a disrespected thing where it's the bad guy versus what? We've got criminal activity, and these guys are supposed to come in and help the situation. And if it goes really fucking bad, someone might end up dying. Sometimes it's the cop, like at the GameStop in Philadelphia. Officer Robert Wilson, of course, he's black and the perps are black, so you don't hear about this. Black lives don't matter in this situation, apparently. No protests, no riots, no, this stops now. Go find this story. You'd have to search this story out to find it. Nobody gives a shit when this black guy is killed. He's at a GameStop in Philadelphia. He's at the store to do a security check and to buy a gift for his 8-year-old son, who was being rewarded for doing well in school. Two men entered the store at 4:30, thinking it was an easy robbery target, only to encounter Wilson in uniform. Shootout ensued. More than 50 rounds are fired in a 30-second span. Wilson, an 8-year vet, was shot multiple times at close range and was killed by a shot to the head. Yeah, he was a hero and a warrior. He fought until the very, very end, firing at both of them. The suspects, Carlton Hipps and Ramon Williams, were later caught, have been charged with first-degree murder as well as attempted murder for attacking Officer Damian Stevenson, Wilson's partner. Both suspects have been arrested in the past. Hipps was on parole. Hipps was shot once in the leg as the suspect left the store. After the shootout, this fucking piece of shit comes back into the store to change his clothes, telling those inside not to point him out. Don't ID me to the cops. Well, of course they ID'd him, and he confessed to the crimes after being caught. So
yeah, you're right. Black on black, and the guy's a cop. So
yeah,
that one's not going to be highly publicized.
It's almost a win. You know,
right.
The good guys won this time. I just don't understand this glorifying of criminal behavior. That's like, pick a different martyr, folks. Pick a different martyr.
Well, and it doesn't help. Like when you had the mayor in New York, his name escapes me right now.
De Blasio.
Right. came out a couple months back and threw his guys under the bus. So that just continues this culture, this belief of it's us against them. They're out to get us.
He's winning the people back though, because this week he announced that he's instituted 2 Muslim holidays that are on the calendar now. So kids get more days off for school. So they're recognizing Muslim holidays now in the New York City School District. So that great news out of New York, right? And unfortunately, this doesn't help the race division in the country anymore. I'm sure we've all seen the fraternity out of Oklahoma.
2 steps back right here, man.
Exactly.
Honestly, this gets, as it should, gets plastered all over. And everybody who says, it should, dude.
You think so?
This is bad.
Yeah.
This is bad. Everybody, I don't blame African-American people for going, oh, white people, you say you're not, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I guess this is an example of a bunch of guys when they're behind closed doors. This is what we knew you did.
Yeah.
You chant anti-black stuff and say the N-word and it's all funny.
You got the video there, Tim Coe? You want to play it? This is what we're talking about this afternoon.
There'll never be a nigger I see. There'll never be a nigger I see. You're headed from a tree, but it'll never stop with me. There'll never be a nigger.
Ooh.
So fraternity on a bus going to some formal function, ass wipe with his with his douchey hair, standing there in a tux, leading a chant, with the N-word, as you heard. Heard never be an N-word in a
SAE.
frat.
You can hang them from a tree, but they'll never sign with me, as if they'd want to sign with you in that retarded fraternity anyways. It sounds horrible. It really does. It's the Sigma Alpha Epsilon house at the University of Oklahoma. The school president said the university's affiliation with the frat is permanently done. The members have until midnight to get their things out of the house. That was according to David Boren. The house will be closed as far as I'm concerned. They won't be back. And the university is exploring what actions it can take against individual fraternity members. This sounds like a song that they all knew really, really well.
Oh, yeah.
This
isn't their first time chanting this.
No. And it sounded like the whole bus knew it. Yeah. So, part of me is inclined to say you've got a bunch of young, stupid college kids. I mean, think about it. It's a stupid little...
Dude, I don't care. I wouldn't have done that. I wouldn't have done that.
Neither would I.
100%. I wouldn't have sat there and sang that stupid fucking song.
Believe it or not, neither would I. At no point in my life would I have sung a song like that on a bus. But context is important. If you watch the news, because here's my biggest problem with stories like this. Our shitty news, 24-hour news cycle, it's like they can't fly to a place like Madison, Wisconsin fast enough, and they also can't fly fast enough to Oklahoma to glorify this. This becomes a ratings grab for them, and they bring in the same cast of characters. I haven't seen them in months since Ferguson died down, and now the same people are up and outraged again. And if these kids were actually lynching someone in a tree, that's the most deplorable. You would think that there was an actual murder on this campus, and I'm not saying what they did. They shouldn't be kicked out of the school. Go ahead, kick them out. I don't give a shit. But the context of it, this reprehensible behavior will not be tolerated of any blah, blah, blah. This university, there's no place for this.
I have more of a problem with it than you do.
Well,
I think that deserves to be out there as a story. These kids deserve to be kicked out. Going to that university is a privilege. Being in a frat's a privilege. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
There's no explanation for that except that you're a racist fuck.
Yeah. I would agree with you.
Or you're such a fucking sheep that you're a big enough piece of shit that you need to be thrown out too.
Yeah. But I think if you went around and, I think we can all agree that there are racist pieces of shit in the world, both blacks and whites. There are racists everywhere. If we want to run around and find little snippets of racism everywhere, we could keep this country in a fervor forever. We could keep people outraged at this deplorable behavior. But my thought is, I think a term like that should be reserved for these moments. That's racism. The Klan passing out fucking flyers
at the Selma March
is racism. But a cop shooting a guy
That's the problem. It all gets blended and it all becomes gray and it all becomes part of the same news cycle and everybody gets whipped up about it. And that sucks. That really, really sucks that the story comes out, because here we are, as I said, 2 steps back now.
But the sting of racism loses its punch too. When everything is racist, if everything's racist, all of a sudden it's just the boy who cried wolf.
Except that everybody, what the effect is the white, what do you call it? Where you feel the guilt, the
privilege. White guilt.
White guilt, where you're inundated with this shit. And God, I mean, maybe we are all racist. God, you know?
Yeah.
Boy, change really has to occur. More change has to occur, and then it just becomes a bigger issue, I think, as this thing gets flooded. I don't think it becomes necessarily a boy who cried wolf. I think it will piss people off who genuinely, fuck, I don't do that, you know, and you get sick of seeing it. But I think the masses, it becomes kind of subliminally ingrained in them that this is a big problem.
Yeah.
And I need to feel guilt about this. And that's why, you know, I'm out front and center at the Madison March, perhaps, taking part in that. I think the Oklahoma thing, I think this is an example of there needs to be consequences for stupid fucking actions.
And there are.
And I don't have any problem with them booting them.
Yeah. But where do you, it's a slippery slope. No offense to our Asian listeners. Where does it go? What?
A slippery slant.
Where does it go though? If a fraternity, and all fraternities are deplorable douchebags in some respect.
Yeah, what are they going to do with their
offense
without their paid friendships for the rest of their life?
Yeah. but what do you do?
How about you eliminate all your stupid chants with the N-word in it?
Yeah, that's a good place to start.
There.
That's a good place to start.
Because you see this and you see that there's consequences, and you see that, hey, you know what? Maybe my future could be affected by this behavior that's hateful and has no place.
And that's an extreme. No, there's no.
You can have your fun. You can be a douchebag. You can go out and drink and go to your douchey little parties with your tuxedos on and your chicks and bang them at the hotel afterwards.
I just
you
think
can have all that. Just don't be hateful and discriminatory.
Well, don't you think? To me, it feels insincere on some level. I know you don't believe that, but when you think about how many times have we heard about rapes going on in fraternities, in frat houses?
Yeah.
And nobody talks. The brothers protect themselves and nobody does anything about it. And it's like, oh, well, she brought it on herself. She did this. That's an actual physical assault. A rape happening on a campus, which happens way more frequently than it should. Yet some kids have some childish, fucking stupid racist chant. And it's like, this needs to stop. This is deplorable. They're off the campus. And all of a sudden, the whole world of shit comes down, and it's like the end of the world.
Unquestionably, that occurred. Invariably, with all these rapes, it's a he said, she said. If it's not, the kid's convicted and he goes away and he's gone.
Yeah.
But here, there's no question it happened.
Yeah.
So it's easy for the university, who rightfully has standards and rightfully is looking out for its bottom line, rightfully looking at, all right, what are my donors going to think about this? Nationally, what are the alums going to think about this if we don't do something harsh and get rid of these kids?
Yeah.
That's their thought process, and it should be. They're there to make money.
Right. Well, and the slippery slope I talk about comes into play when, you know, pimps and hoes party. You have a pimps and hoes party at a frat, and everybody dresses up with their afro wig and their shitty clothes, and they walk in with the fucking chain gang in it, with a ghetto fucking sloth walk.
Just don't go blackface and you'll be all right.
See, but it's a slippery slope. All of a sudden, some kid whips out a phone and goes, "Look what they're doing at the Sigma douchebag party tonight," and then it's like, "This is an outrage. This is the racism we're talking about." Like, where do you cut it off? I guess we cut it off at
the N-word, maybe
the end.
Lynching.
At lynching.
It's a good place to start.
Okay. Do you understand what I'm saying though? Yeah. Like where do you draw the line? Because if everybody agrees that racism exists, and I think you'd have to be a complete utter asshole to not agree that racism in some form exists throughout the country. I
think the line can be drawn.
So where's the outrage? Like, you've been saying this exists all along. So really you're shocked and outraged by this? We've all known
it's on video
that there are pieces of shit. There's a million examples of it on YouTube and Facebook.
All right, well, the university reacted to the one that's out front today.
Yeah.
But your question, where's the line? The line is where the decision maker says it is. So it depends on the context entirely. If a university is going to look at one of those pimps and hoes fraternity parties and pictures that come out of that, it depends on what's there.
Mm-hmm.
If it's overtly racist, I'm sure they'll take the same position.
Yeah. I don't know.
Hey, before we get too far, got to mention Big E. He threw all over the couch while you ate my friggin' peanut butter. What you might not know right now is that Zot Ford you can lease a brand new 2014 F-150 Super Cab 4x4 for just $235 a month. That's right, lease a Superfly pimped out F-150 4x4 for just $235 a month. The trucks and the deals won't last long, so hurry in and let them know that Big E is going to get penetrated on the Vegas Strip after losing the race. It's not true, Big E, correct? All right.
Not at all.
Me. Then just sit back and watch the magic happen. Folks, we all know that this can only happen at Zot Ford, which is in Holly, I-75, and exit 98.
You want to see the definition of collateral damage?
Sure.
Oklahoma University alumni are rallying around an African-American chef who has been forced out of his job because he was the chef at the SAE house.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Poor
Look
guy.
at my man. Like overnight, it's like everybody out. We're closing the house. And he's like, "What? I've been working here for 10 years, cooking meals for these racist pigs."
Exactly that. But those guys were real cool to his face, right?
Yeah, dude, that's the first thing I
What's
thought.
up, Charles? Hey, Charles.
Howard.
Man. Is it
What's going
Howard?
on? Howard.
What's
Yeah.
up, Howard?
Yeah, and he seems like the sweetest, nicest guy in the world. Everybody has something nice to say about this guy. Apparently, cooked a mean chili dog, and that's exactly what I thought was all these fucking assholes walking in there going, "My man Howard, how you doing, bro?"
Yeah.
And then, we know how the rest plays out. Disgusting. He's worked at the house for 15 years, cooking chili dogs, cheering students with his infectious smile. On Monday, his role was terminated after they closed the SAE with immediate effect. So anyway, a few of the students, former SAE students, at least one of them, started a GoFundMe site, and within 12 hours they'd raised over $5,000 at one. Another page had at least $3,000.
Hopefully he gets picked up by another house if he's that good, man. The chili dog could.
I didn't realize they had cooks at these places.
Oh yeah,
really?
Most of them.
I didn't realize that.
Yep. That's what all that money you're spending is paying for.
That's what it's going to
One
show.
of the things.
Yeah.
One of the.
Along with your brotherhood.
Yeah, the fucking friendships. Like, fuck.
They all say he's very hardworking and loyal. So, terrible.
Did he have to get? I guess who?
Dude, they closed the house.
So who? I mean, you know what? I'm not gonna. Never mind. Forget that. Just goes to. I'm not.
That's a nice house, dude. Did you see the pictures of the house?
Yeah,
very nice, new looking house.
Mm-hmm. What were you?
Nothing. I don't want to get into.
Who's paying him?
No, I'm not gonna get into questions about that. I don't know about fraternities. Never forget it. Don't worry.
No. I
just don't get how. I don't know how that works. I never realized
he's
that
paid for by the brothers. Yeah.
Okay.
You have to pay a certain amount of dues to go each semester, and that money goes to parties. It goes to paying your chef, or if you have a housekeeper.
Wow.
A trip that the brothers take somewhere, Vegas trip or whatever. Yeah. That stuff's all paid by the
parents' dues.
Parents' dues.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Exactly. Facebook coming under fire as well. I mean, everybody's just under fire.
Should be, Mike.
Yeah. Now this is absolutely disgusting. I mean, I don't know. This is the world we've created that we're living in, dude, where everybody can be offended at everything and outraged. I'm outraged.
This is a first world problem right here, what you're about to describe.
Yeah. Well, Facebook is now feeling the wrath of an anti-uniformity among bodies group.
What?
Anti-uniformity among bodies group.
So we are against a uniform body image.
Yeah.
Is that right? The idea that everybody has to be skinny.
Their words are not mine. They are outraged by the feeling fat emoji or emoticon. What's
the difference between an emoji and an emoticon?
I don't know.
I ask that seriously. I don't even know. I hear them used kind of interchangeably.
Yeah, I use them interchangeably.
I just know winky face.
Let's see if I can do feeling fat right now.
Feeling fat has like a line under the chin to depict the fat roll.
I'm looking to see it.
A second chin.
Where is it? Come on. It's not up here anymore.
So you can't describe yourself as feeling fat and then show a fat emoticon.
Which every girlfriend I've dated, no matter if she was 45 pounds or 130 pounds,
feels fat
every day I've been with them. They all feel fat. It's a description of.
Well, that's the problem at issue here, Mike.
Right.
It's this idea that everybody has to be ultra thin and we can't accept others who aren't.
Or it's all in our head and we make a big deal out of nothing, just fishing for compliments. No, honey, you look great.
Could be.
According to CNN, a group called Endangered Bodies.
Jesus.
No, sorry, fat people. You are not an endangered species. You are thriving. Endangered Bodies.
Creating new ones every day.
There it is.
So
oh,
that's
man.
the fat?
That's outrageous.
That doesn't even look.
Oh, I thought that was a Kitterman. I thought it was a Kitterman with a smiley face underneath. That's
smiling.
So we've got the rosy cheeks, the smiling face, and then that little dimple underneath is a extra chin.
Oh.
To me, this is as insincere. Well, not insincere. This is as ridiculous as if bulimics were pissed at the nauseous one.
Yeah, you're right.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, or hopeless. Yeah, depression.
I've been
you know,
suicidal.
yeah.
That's insensitive to me and my problems, me. The whole world needs to adapt to my issues.
Go down to almost every one on these lists. Perplexed. What if I don't?
Pissed?
Yeah.
Wife beaters. Oh, you're calling me out because I'm pissed all the time?
Right. Got an anger issue?
Full. Anybody who's starving?
Yeah. What about all those kids in Africa?
It's insensitive to people in Africa. It absolutely is.
Good point.
All you full people bragging about it.
Right. Heaven forbid.
What about all the people feeling shitty?
Or with bowel issues.
Good point. Irritable bowel syndrome.
Yes.
Endangered Bodies has launched a petition, of course, at change.org that has drawn more than 13,000 signatures.
Okay, please, everybody, don't sign this. This is absurd.
No, yeah.
Let's let this one go. Vote for us on the podcast awards instead.
Yeah, there you go. If you're
feel
going to log
need
on,
to click on something.
If you feel the need to click on something, I just got to click on something.
We think it promotes and supports the endless torrent of judgment and pressure to be perfect felt by young people across the world. The group, which has branches around the world, including London, New York, calls what it calls a local global initiative that was launched by the International Endangered Species Summit, March of 2011.
It's a valid issue, this body image thing, but you talk about boy who cried wolf.
Yeah.
You know, fucking emoji that frankly doesn't even look that fat.
No, it's not.
It's got something really, really fat.
It has a line under the chin, but it's the exact same size as all the other emoticons. It's no different in size.
It looks to be the same weight.
It looks to be exactly the same weight.
Feels a bit, I don't know, doughy.
And honestly, they all look a little pudgy if you ask me.
Mm-hmm.
Moon-faced. Yeah. We challenge the current toxic culture that promotes negative body image. Our aim is to save future generations from the misery that turns people against their own bodies. In the spirit of that campaign, Endangered Bodies is going after Facebook for the emoticon, which the group says denigrates fat folk. When Facebook users set their status to feeling fat, they're making fun of fat people who consider themselves to be overweight, which can include many people with eating disorders. This is not okay.
E, you're fat. How do you feel about this?
Son of a bitch. For one, by the way, not fat at all. There's
supple,
dude, you're just Jay. You want to talk about fucking keeping the thing going? If you're calling me fat, then there's some people out there that fucking will make them feel really bad about themselves.
You're doughy and supple.
Dude, you know,
I find that offensive.
By the way, endangered species isn't fucking the country as fat as it's ever been. They're, if anything, they're becoming the majority. Mm-hmm. They're not endangered. They're
nothing endangered about them.
No, it's just funny to me that that's the point. This is what I worry about.
Who writes this up?
We're squabbling about this. These are the real world issues with all the shit going on in the world. You're really worried about an emoticon that you know the intent was not to do what you claim it's doing.
No, they're
just
not.
because you feel this way means that you're probably hypersensitive to the way you yourself look. Don't blame society for things like that. That's like going, this test is killing me. You know, really, is it killing me? Should I be called out for that for families that have gone through a death recently? When you make a comment like that, like feeling fat,
yeah,
that doesn't mean you're a slob. It just means I'm feeling fat.
This is out of the PETA playbook. You know, PETA put themselves on the map by making mountains out of molehills.
Yeah,
right. Anytime somebody on a reality show kills a rat to eat them on Survivor, PETA freaks out. All this shit. It's the same deal. They're just trying to draw attention to their group.
Yeah.
Which again, I think it's a valid issue, this body image issue. But
I think that's two separate issues, though.
What's the group's name again?
Endangered species.
No, the body, whatever, dude.
Yeah.
There's somebody with a genuine issue behind this. I think they're just reaching. And
anti-uniformity among bodies.
Yeah.
Jeez,
Honestly, dude.
Yeah.
Is body image not an issue with certainly young girls?
Yeah. Sure. It is.
But your point is that shit loses steam when it's Boy Who Cried Wolf and you're grabbing shit. You know, but it's a strategy. Some people would say, no, we're building awareness, and that's important to our group.
Well, what's the group bitching about then? Is this because this feels like lesbian and gay issues getting tagged with the transgender folks, the pork of it? So if you're talking about someone trying to achieve a body that's unachievable, and if you're talking about taking a model's photograph and sculpting it in Photoshop to make it look perfect at no matter what, and then you're selling that as the image of what a normal female image looks like.
No, it's all the same issue. It's, hey, don't rip on people because they're fat. People have glandular issues.
They have
Prader willies,
absolutely,
things they can't help, and they're bigger and they're feeling really bad about themselves and really having a tough go of it because of the society that focuses so much on being thin. That's the overall issue.
You call me fat every day. Every day you call me fat.
Because I know you don't mind. You're doughy and supple. I don't call you fat.
You call him fat.
I did. I know. 3 minutes ago I did. That's the first time I've ever called you fat.
You call me fat. I'm outraged. You said our phone number should be 1-800-FAT-MIKE.
I'm outraged, Jay.
I'm outraged too. We need a petition going.
I'm going on my Facebook right now and saying how outraged I am about this.
No, you guys can handle it.
Oh, thanks. Love handle it? Is that what you mean, Jay? Is that what you're saying, you son of a bitch?
Wow.
That's offensive.
Jay,
you owe me an apology. I knew what you meant by that.
Jay being an aerobics instructor just freaking furthers the problem, Jay. You could argue that. You want people to get healthy, lose weight?
Yeah, what are you saying? I'm not good enough as I am. I need to go to the gym. I need to go to Live Fit and get myself in shape. Is that what you're saying? That I'm not good enough in my current state?
It's an awesome symbiotic relationship. Stay fat, keep working out.
Yeah.
Get fat again, work out. It's interesting.
Maybe if Gab served pizza at her gym, I would go there more often.
No,
or let you walk in the women's bathroom.
That's what Planet Fitness is doing.
Dude, that guy, I don't know what he was talking about. I mean, I know they do. It's once like the first Tuesday of a month between like 6 and 8 p.m. It's not like
I don't really care when it is. That's fucking absurd.
I know.
That a gym is serving you pizza.
It is the David Helm business model, though.
It is really. Man.
Have another beer. I know you're walking out the door, but having a couple more beers on me. He's essentially buying himself a new client like that.
Yeah.
They're doing the same thing.
Totally. Shamelessly.
Yeah.
Incredible.
This guy's getting way too good a shape. Get him some bagels quick. Let's get him going here. Yeah. Pathetic stories like that. Sorry. Why don't we take a quick break and we'll let E mourn. That's the Sam Simon. That's the big one, dude.
I was actually wearing my Simpsons shirt.
Is it a big one? Underneath. No, he ducked out early. Didn't he?
No.
Really? No. He was still involved to the end?
I don't know about whether he was involved at the end, dude, but he was.
We'll discuss when we come back. Okay. Yeah. We'll do that next on the Destroycast.
The Detroit Cast continues after this short break.
Hey there, it's Steve Gabarra, the general manager at Zott Ford and Holly. Newsflash, we need your trade-in. Believe it or not, the spring market is right around the corner, and that means Zott Ford needs more pre-owned inventory. What's the best way to do that? Easy. Pay too much for the vehicle you are driving right now. We're paying up to 15% over Kelley Blue Book, regardless if you buy a new car from us or not. So bring us your trade-in and leave with a fistful of cash, only at Zott Ford and Holly. Check us out and our massive inventory at ZottFord.com.
News now, bitches. Here's Mike and Jay.
All right, welcome back to the Detroit Cast with Mike and Jay on a Tuesday, and big loss in the Simpsons world. As what are you doing over there?
You know, I am hot, but
Into the mic, you son of a bitch.
I am hot, but I did plan on wearing my Simpsons shirt today because of the loss.
You theme dressed like a fifth grader.
Look
It's
at that.
hilarious.
It's an honor of him.
Mr. Simon,
Mr.
Sam
Simon.
Simon. Yeah, we lost a good one, man. He
I've
sounds like
never
a
heard
good
of
dude. You've never heard of Sam Simon?
No. Honestly.
Yeah, he's co-creator of The Simpsons.
Okay.
Yep. He died following a long battle with colon cancer, just 59. Initially diagnosed with the illness in 2012. He was given just 3 months to live. And he ended up making it this far, this long, a few years. Huge animal rights advocate. This is where the story gets weird to me, where here's a guy not married, no kids, and gave his $100 million fortune to animal rights groups like PETA.
Well, and some feed the kids stuff too.
Yeah,
I mean,
he did. Yep, you're right. Feed the homeless, but he sounds like a genuinely good dude.
At least he's giving it away. I don't know.
He could give it to us. Could do good with it, right? PETA gets enough. They need everything.
They do.
I mean, they get way more than.
But
they
you know
should.
what though, Jay? And I know you're going to read the article, but I happen to look a lot about it today just because I'm a Simpsons guy or whatever. But it wasn't just PETA. Like he was literally was going through to zoos, buying them out and putting these animals in more of a live nature captivity. I mean, it wasn't just out, like
doing some good for some poozes.
Yeah, man.
Don't care to poos of the world. Poos.
Yeah,
he had like 8 dogs.
Would it be poos or just poos? Poozes? Poos.
Is poos plural or
Poos-
singular, Jay?
Poos S apostrophe?
No, it's like moose.
Yeah.
Yeah. Poos is like moose.
I'd have to agree. All right. He did
Look at
some
that.
good.
Look at that moose over there. Oh my God. Look at that pack of moose over there.
Yeah. It's okay. So he did good for some poos.
Yeah. He did right by the poos. A great man. I owe him everything. Tweeted showrunner Al Jean, saying that the passing was an enormous loss. He was last interviewed in November when he described his illness as the most amazing experience of my life. This is great news. I had no idea this was going to be a feel-good story, but it turns out it is.
Dude, on the interview, I saw him. Maybe it's the interview you mentioned that, but I actually watched. I went through Facebook and watched some of these interviews you've done, and maybe it's that same one. But on one of them, he just
Maria Shriver.
Maybe, yeah, maybe that was it. But he just did you have on there that he also said that this was cancer was a very good thing if you wanted publicity or to pick up chicks.
Yeah, I can't imagine it'd be a good way to pick up chicks.
I think it is, man. You're dying. Feel bad for you. How do I get through the day?
I'd worry it's contagious or something.
Colon cancer.
You never know.
Colon cancer.
He was last interviewed in November. After his diagnosis, he immediately teamed up with PETA and dedicated his time to the rescue of maltreated animals and conservation. He then pushed ahead and funded projects such as feeding families to help with underprivileged in inner cities. They showed me my scans. They said, these are the scans of a dead man.
Whoa.
Yeah. Nice doctor. Nice bedside manner, my man.
I know, right?
Is it curable? They said, we don't use that word.
Oof.
Yeah.
So no.
Who does he have as his doctor? Hibbert?
I know, right? or the guy from
Simpsons
Family
character.
Dude. You don't even know. God,
I know.
My God.
It's a brilliant show, man. The Simpsons is a great show.
It's been on 26 years.
I haven't watched it since 91.
Oh my. I'll give you the DVDs.
I sat in Mr. Steele's government class, and I guess it was Thursday or Friday, he would show the latest Simpsons episode, and it was brand new then.
Yeah, that's a good thing to do in your government class.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah.
And he didn't at all try to tie it into government. And anyway, it was just, hey, everybody, watch this.
The Simpsons back in, what did you say, what year?
90 to 91.
They probably were on Thursday at that point.
Yeah, he would do it Friday mornings. I think it would air on Thursdays,
weekend. We got to roll into the weekend, Jay. No reason. No reason.
I totally remember that. Him wheeling from the AV room or whatever.
With the big strap around the TV.
Yeah.
Remember
pop a tape in there.
Remember when that was like, I don't know for you guys, but I thought like for me, even in high school, if you would walk into class and either one, they'd roll it in or two would already be there and you'd be like, we're going to watch a movie.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
Just the best. And then sometimes it would be from the leftover from the class before and they'd be like, don't get excited. That was, last hour. And it's like, fucking Christ.
What did you like better, field trips or the movie brought into the room.
Yeah, I didn't go on a lot of field trips after middle school, I don't think.
Yeah.
The Stratford was an exception for sure.
Yeah.
I can't think of another high school field trip.
I remember going to like Greenfield Village and stuff in grade school or middle school, maybe.
Well, the thing about movies, like if you had the choice, like you said, what you like better, but if I had the choice, even in high school, of course you would choose to me a field trip, because like the thing with the movie was, yes, it was nice. Like if randomly sometimes they just play a ridiculous movie, but then it always felt like, I remember just getting tired, and then you'd have to go wake up and then go to another real class.
Yeah, but you could sleep during whatever bullshit they were trying to show you.
Yeah,
I agree. I think we can all agree that the field trip, which spanned many hours, was the greatest. You couldn't beat that. The doctor told him, "I can't cure you, but my job is to keep you alive," and he's done a remarkable job of it. He's done great. I have never been happier. So thank you, doctor. Like I said, this is a feel-good story. It really is. Cancer is a horrible disease, and then he said what E described. He said he decided to give his millions to causes he cared about passionately. He created the show in 91 with Matt Groening. He technically retired from The Simpsons in 93. That's unbelievable.
But his name's on every
episode. Yeah. His name is on every episode to this day, and he gets residuals to this day. Tens of millions of dollars every year without fail, and he hasn't written.
But the key was, the key is that he was a co-creator and not for, you create the fucking Simpsons.
There are tons of creators out there who get run by and don't make shit when they've created something that.
What else did he do aside from this?
He Taxi.
Oh wow.
Yeah, he was one of the guys on Taxi. He was on one of the head writers and showrunners for Cheers.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Real deal, man.
Yeah, for sure. He submitted a script on spec to ABC about Taxi. His script was bought and produced, and then Simon rose to be the showrunner. From there, he joined Cheers, was a staff writer its first 3 seasons. In 87, he was on the Tracy Ullman Show, met Matt Groening.
And that's where The Simpsons got linked in, right?
Yeah.
As like a short
on
that show.
Yep. He was named creative supervisor, and he hired the first writing staff. Was Conan on the first writing staff, or did he come later?
He was in the first one.
Was Al Jean part of that?
Probably.
Yeah, I think he was.
I'd have to see. I think Conan was not. No, Conan was definitely not on the first one, because I remember Conan saying that he was a fan before he got on. So like it was a big deal. When he got the job, it was a big deal to him.
Yeah. Simon left The Simpsons in his 4th season. He had a strained relationship with Matt Groening. A lot of times that happens. Creatives, button heads on stuff. He played no role in the show in nearly 20 years, not even watching it, he said. Even as his name remained in the weekly credits along with Groening's and Brooks, and his checks just rolled in.
Wow.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
Beautiful.
Yeah, Conan was 91 to 93 on The Simpsons, so that was not.
Who was?
Conan.
Conan was 91 to 93?
But that's season like probably 2. I'd have to see what
91 it started.
I don't think there's no way. Could not have been. I think it started at 89 though.
As a short, but
no,
the Fox show.
I think the first Fox Christmas thing. God damn it. I'd have to.
Come on, E. This is your thing,
I know.
Man.
Well, I think the first Christmas special that was the first actual episode that wasn't a short aired in
1990. Matt Groening was there in 1990 is when he started. So couldn't have been before that.
Yeah.
Conan O'Brien 92 to 93.
I'm not sure you're as big a fan as you say you are.
Dude, I
don't even know some basics.
He's on the spot. Yeah, this is pretty basic.
Are you kidding
stuff.
me? I've seen. Okay, wow. Seen every episode with DVD audio commentary. 1989 to picture format broadcast. I don't know. Fuck.
Asked why he decided to dedicate his fortune.
Original run December 17th, 1989.
There you go. You remembered the Christmas thing in 89. Well done, E.
Told you.
So they started The Simpsons before Matt Groening officially got there then. Is that what you're saying? Because it says 1990 is when he started.
I don't agree. There's no way. It's wrong.
He's right.
I'm right, and it's wrong.
I'm reading it on the internet, so it's got to be right.
So
a list off the internet.
Yeah, absolutely. And I have no source of that at all. I don't know where that source is from.
Wikipedia.
So then it's right. It's right.
I went in and changed it an hour ago.
Did you?
December 17th, 1989. The first Christmas episode aired. Then May 13th, 1990 is when they because the first it was not. It was only gonna it was only gonna be a.
It's kind of weird to make a Christmas episode before a regular episode.
Because it wasn't going to be, because what had happened is they weren't even sure if they
too.
Really.
Go ahead.
They weren't
Finish
sure
your thought.
they weren't
Parts
sure.
of us.
I'm trying to, but you fucking keep talking over me. They originally didn't want to be a fucking. They weren't sure it was going to be a series. They just made a half-hour Christmas special, and it did so good that that's when they started picking it up. They came more of an idea. It was not going to be an original series. They'd had the shorts, and they just thought, well, let's try this special and see what happens.
And then it became a series in 1990.
Yes. Well, December 17th, 1989 is when the fucking first episode aired. You son of a bitch.
They probably wrote it in 82, but
probably
but
wrote
it became
in
a series in 1990. That's all we were saying.
First episode in 1989.
So you're wrong.
I was right.
Whatever.
Well, I said it was
whatever. Asked why he decided to dedicate his fortune and final months to animal rights. The thing about animals that speaks to me so much is that my passion for the animals and against animal abuse is based on the knowledge that these creatures, which think and feel, can't speak for themselves.
Which is what we kind of always say. Well, what's that we kind of always say when we see a cat or getting beat up, and you say he can't stand up for himself.
It's kind of what the Lorax was saying about the trees.
Really?
Same idea.
Don't beat up the trees.
I speak for the trees because the trees have no lungs, so I blah blah blah.
Did Simon steal that from the Lorax?
Maybe, I don't know.
Wow.
Yeah. The trees have no tongues, so I'm asking you, please, at the top of my lungs.
How much do you know about the Lorax?
It's the Kitterman. The Kitterman reeled him in.
Gotcha.
That son of a bitch.
Yeah. This is a real gem of a cat.
What do we got?
We got a guy who was propositioning schoolgirls in the street while high on unleaded gasoline.
Oh,
yeah.
Dude, if you're gonna,
dude, this reminds me. Did we talk about this on the air? Those little Guatemalan kids huffing paint, or were you?
I think we were off the air.
Oh, and you've never seen these videos.
I don't think so.
These
I think
little
I've
kids.
seen them. I think I have seen clips of people huffing stuff, and it's
Holy
really
shit.
fast. The way they
And
huff
end up
it
with
is
paint
weird.
all over their face and shit. But I remember seeing in like social studies class or something in middle school. I remember seeing this film about these kids living in this complete ghetto piece of shit garbage hole in Guatemala, somewhere in South America, and they're just wandering around with this paint, and they can't get it 12 inches from their face before they go back up to their nose with it. It's just
really
constant huff, 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 and it's so sad to watch these little tiny kids.
Is
just,
part of it kind of funny though?
for sure, because they
It
look
sounds
like,
hilarious. I got to be honest with you.
to be honest, a lot of them looked like that little drunk mouse in Speedy Gonzalez.
Really?
Yeah,
Everybody knows he's sister.
wandering around like that.
my God.
I got to be honest.
He just noted that he looked like him.
Yeah,
Nothing foul about
crazy
that.
visual though. If you ever have a chance to Google paint huffing kids.
This kid's facing jail after breaching a ASBO, an antisocial behavior order, from drinking the fuel.
Damn, dude, how do you live? How do you survive that?
Drinking gasoline.
Dude, maybe it probably doesn't have any effect on it. But why would you go with unleaded? Why would you maybe go with premium? It'd be a little
A
higher.
little diesel.
Yeah, I don't
You
know.
wanted to go with top shelf stuff?
Yeah, I'm just saying. Premium. Isn't it more higher octane or whatever?
I don't know.
I don't know what octane is, but I know that's what it is, right?
You'd have to ask Robert Stevens.
Okay.
What were you going to
Can I
say?
ask
No,
him?
I've heard of like flaming alcoholics in Russia. For whatever reason, this comes to mind. I remember reading a story about these alcoholics who were so desperate they were drinking jet fuel. There was a vodka shortage in their region, and so they end up drinking friggin' jet fuel. How do you survive that? I don't even.
You'd probably have to mix it with something, right?
Yeah, I hope
How,
not.
how do you get it
Hardcore?
down?
Gotta get a
I don't know. That's a good question. But he was found drunk, staggering around a gas station, having bought a gallon of unleaded fuel less than 8 hours after being released from jail on a string of offenses. He's 23. He's addicted to drinking and sniffing gasoline. He was banned from large swaths of his city following a bizarre drunken outburst during which he taunted unsuspecting women with sexual jibes. So he's yelling at these chicks. He approaches these two schoolgirls, and guess what he says to them? He sees two young schoolgirls, and he says, "If you're old enough to smoke, you're old enough to suck my dick."
Oh, I like that. That's clever.
That's good logic.
I prefer if you're old enough to pee, you're old enough for me.
I like that.
Ah,
Or if
Jay,
there's
that's
grass
a
in the
little...
infield, play ball.
Yeah,
Those are the two
I've
I
always
prefer.
liked that one, but
I don't know. He really wheeled him in with that. Like,
I
and
mean,
then he
It
just
didn't even
boom.
rhyme though.
Yeah, it
I
doesn't
think you need it to rhyme to really have that hook nature to it.
cut him some
Yeah.
slack. He's hammered on gasoline. I mean, he hammered,
not a bad line.
stumbling about. If you're old enough to smoke, you're old enough to suck my dick.
And the other thing is, Jay,
And if that works, if someone bites, you got to keep her.
and Jay, you're sitting there with like even grass in the field, play ball. They're like, you never know what that means. He's just straight to the point. Suck my dick.
And it's cliche. At least he's coming up with original material.
Right.
I mean,
Everyone's
there's
heard-
grass on the ball.
I'm kind of dancing around it, aren't I?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're old
Get to
enough
the
to
point.
pee. You're old
I mean-
enough for me. Well, what does that really mean?
Yeah.
I mean,
hold hands, go on a date.
Yeah.
I mean, suck my dick.
If you're old enough to smoke, you're old enough to suck my dick.
it's true. No mistake.
It's-
And look at him. You know, he's a straightforward kind of guy.
Is that technically a winky face?
I think I walk straight forward into a freaking baseball bat.
Can you imagine this guy walking up and just going, "Hey, if you're old enough to smoke, you're old enough to suck my dick."
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure anybody went for that.
Yeah, looks
By
like
the
someone
looks
took
of him.
maybe some offense to it, perhaps.
You know what though? Again, you gotta go if you more direct. He knows what he's gonna get. If they say yes,
He also on the same day threatened his grandfather, who hasn't been there.
Right,
You know,
sure.
I mean, the amount of times I went toe to toe with my grandfather.
Old son of a bitch.
Yeah, I mean, we don't know what Grandpa did, but
I don't know why, but when it comes to old things, like I love that phrasing that Jay just called old son of a bitch. It just when referring to old people, I always like it.
they had
Or
to
sons
issue
of
it.
bitches.
They had to issue this kid with a antisocial behavior order to not drink gasoline. To me, that seems like natural selection at that point. If you've got
It
someone
really
willing
does.
to drink gasoline, let them drink gasoline.
Yeah, it's like let's
Wake me up when he
protect you from you. What is this order? This I've
And-
never heard of this
Yeah.
antisocial behavior order.
Well, and honestly,
Here's a piece of paper that says you are not to drink gasoline anymore.
Yeah,
gas stations are in every corner. Do they have his picture up? Are they gonna fucking? I mean, how is he exactly gonna?
you would think he would take it home too, but no, he fills up a can with a gallon of gasoline and then gets hammered in the parking lot at the gas station, screaming at chicks.
Well, the chicks aren't at home. He's got to be at the gas station. He's waiting for them to
Good
walk out
point.
with their cigarettes. You
God,
know?
what that must do to your brain, dude? Just
Oh.
immediately.
I don't think it's anything healthy, judging by the
Yeah.
picture we're looking at.
How old is he?
23. A judge
Yeah.
heard that he returned to the neighborhood. He was banned from almost immediately after being released from jail. He went straight to the gas station. He was found completely intoxicated after buying a gallon of gas. He's going to be
What?
sentenced in April
You're
the
right.
14th.
Jay, what would really? How bad would that be for you?
Some
in your
major
body.
self-loathing, man. I thought you were bad. Look at him.
Yeah, I've never drank gasoline.
Yeah. And trying to get chicks too. They said the problem they have with it is that when he gets hammered on gasoline is when he goes and robs a place or assaults someone. Like, so it's clouding his judgment at some point. Maybe he needs to cut back on
They
it.
put a stop to it with the order.
Yeah.
They've ordered him not to do it. They've
Yeah,
given
I'm
him
sure
a piece of
he'll-
paper,
Yeah.
probably in triplicate.
You're
And
acting as
he'll
if
know now.
you're acting as if maybe this won't stop him from going to drink gasoline.
We'll see.
Hey, they're doing what they can, right? At least they're doing something. It's more than you can say. You're not doing anything to help this situation. At least they're trying.
You're right. I'm not. Where's he?
They at least issued him a piece of paper telling him to knock that off. You, you crazy kid, knock that off. That's an order.
No more.
That's an order.
No more gasoline. Come on.
That's hilarious. More details coming out. Remember the girl we talked about? I don't know, probably a couple weeks ago now. That the kid was like, "Oh, I'm having second thoughts about killing myself." She's like, "Get back in the Jeep."
Oh man.
Remember that chick?
Yes.
Do it already.
Does she look a little like Winnie Cooper? Remember we were trying to figure out who she looks like?
Yep. There you
Let
go.
me
Big
see.
forehead.
Let me
It's
see.
the forehead.
She looks a little Winnie
From
Cooper.
Wonder- Wonder Years.
She absolutely does.
Did you see it? Okay,
Yes.
good.
No, I
Wasn't
do.
Winnie Amerasian though?
Sure. I think.
I don't know.
Wasn't she?
Yeah,
I'm sorry, I don't speak Japanese.
American Asian.
Yeah.
Is that what that is? Amerasian?
Yeah.
Did you just say that just to?
What?
He's a math genius too. Probably the,
Well, what are you
the
trying to-
Asian
She is
side.
Yeah,
fun.
what do you-
She is.
Ooh, me sorry, me no speak Chinese.
She is still hot, by the way.
I know she is.
Yes.
Come on.
Look, yeah, she is.
No,
cute.
she is. Here, you want me to
Show her. What do you look? Yeah.
these pictures?
We can't see. We're looking at the back of your computer.
Oh yeah. Look at her, dude.
Okay. Winnie looks a lot better now than she did then.
Look at those
Timco's got some bikini shots
nice
of her.
titties.
What's she up to? I haven't seen her in.
Let's see.
Yeah.
on her wiki
she was
page.
on like Dancing with the Stars or one
Oh,
of those
really?
shows. Yeah.
Okay.
So nothing.
I think she's written some books and bullshit like that. But
Oh
whatever.
yeah, she has. You're right.
Did she end up with Kevin?
I think she did in the end, didn't
Yeah.
she?
In the show, you mean?
Yeah.
Oh,
There she is.
Man,
What do you think, Jay? Huh?
Yeah.
Not
Fuck
bad,
yeah.
right? So anyway, this is not Winnie Cooper that tried to get this kid to kill himself, by the
I don't know what
way.
we're talking
Just
about.
But she
sort of-
kind of resembles her.
Yeah, there's a resemblance for sure. She's an honor roll student, by the way, in high school. Michelle Carter is her name. She was charged last month with involuntary manslaughter in the death of Conrad Roy III. If I hear the third after your name, I just think you're a douche. I'm sorry. No offense. He's no longer with us, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Conrad Roy III. No,
Pretty bad.
My word, Conrad. He died of carbon monoxide poisoning in his truck last July. He's the one that texted her, and she said to get back in. Now it's emerged. She later told a friend, he got out of the car. I told him to get back in because I knew he would do it all over again the next day.
She didn't want to be bothered the next day.
Yes.
Just wanted to be done. Were there all kinds of things like that she's super into attention and she's
Yeah.
a huge attention seeker?
Yeah.
Where'd that go?
That's kind of where this goes. In the days before he took his life, Carter texted her friends to say he had gone missing. So this is probably what they're talking about. So she texts all her friends, says he's gone missing. Meanwhile, she's texting with him like crazy.
Uh-huh.
That's where the 1,000 texts. Remember they said there were
Yeah.
1,000 texts exchanged. So she's working up the community like, oh my God, I don't know where he is. Oh, he's gone missing.
Mm.
And meanwhile, she knows exactly where he is because she's texting.
And then she's front and center to raise funds for him after he's gone, right?
Exactly. She feared he was going to take his life, but other texts revealed she was messaging Roy the whole time. Let me know when you're going to do it. One of the messages read. It's
Dude.
believed that Carter acted in this way because she was planning to continue to encourage Conrad to take his own life. As a result, she was beginning to put together a plan to get sympathy from her friends, which is evident because at this point she was already starting to explain that it's her fault that Conrad is dead, even though he is still alive and speaking and texting with her regularly. His body was found in the truck by his parents, or after his parents reported him missing. The police found the texts after looking through his phone. So at this point, she texts one of her friends nearly a week after expressing her fears that her messages to Roy had been found. I just got off the phone with
Gosh, I can't
Conrad's
believe
mom.
they found those.
Yeah. What crack police work?
We hid them so secretively right on his phone.
I just got off the phone with Conrad's mom about 20 minutes ago, and she told me that detectives had come to go through his things and stuff. They read my messages with him. I'm done. His family will hate me, and I could go to jail.
God, she really thought that one through, didn't she?
Yeah. Genius 17-year-old.
Fuck.
After the death, she started raising money and awareness. In descriptions for the event, Homers for Conrad, she wrote, life can be tough, but helping others makes it easier. Helping others what? Commit suicide? Is that what you mean by helping others? Such a beautiful soul, gone too soon. She wrote on the day of his death, I'll always remember your
how'd she
bright
spell
light and
it?
smile.
How'd she spell it?
She spelled it the right way.
Okay.
Unfortunately. Yeah. So he's apparently gone too soon.
Yeah.
You'll forever be in my heart. I love you, Conrad. 3 days later, she added, I will never understand why this had to happen.
Dude, that's diabolical, man.
It is.
This chick drumming this whole thing up, getting him to kill himself so that she could get attention.
Yeah.
God,
It seems
allegedly.
kind of almost exclusive to women, I got to be honest with you. I don't
I'm
think
sure I'd
guys
see
would
a
go to that
dude.
trouble.
Well, a dude would be like, fuck, I don't want to organize a fucking charity softball thing.
Yeah. I could see a guy going, dude, I don't want to hear about how you're fucking depressed and you're going to kill yourself. Fucking do it already if you're going to do it.
Yeah.
But they wouldn't go to those lengths and like,
No. Want all the attention after.
yeah, no,
No.
not at all.
Yeah,
probably-
they'd blow off their buddy for sure. Send him back in the truck. I could totally see
yeah.
that. But wanting all the accoutrements aside from that, no.
What am I
can't
going to
see it.
do? I feel like it's my fault. Like no guy would do that. It's
Mm-mm.
very exclusive to that gender.
God bless him.
Yeah, God love them, right? And then we got a judge in Washington, D.C., Superior Court judge, ordered the district government Friday to pay a record $9.2 million in damages to Mr. Kirk L. Odom, who's 52 years old. He's one of these guys that was wrongfully imprisoned.
Mhm.
More
DNA
than,
showed him as innocent.
yeah.
Wow.
These are brutal, aren't they? I mean, talk about like,
The ultimate frustration, right?
oh,
To be sitting there and be found guilty. Dude,
And if you know,
I didn't do it.
right?
sure you didn't do it.
Right.
Yeah.
We're all guilty or we're all innocent.
Yeah, you're sitting there with
99
your cellmate. I swear to God.
Yeah, me too.
I know.
Me too. I get it. It's like that that scene out of Something About Mary when Ben Stiller goes and like stumbles into the bushes. He's trying to take a piss at that rest stop, and all the guys get up. He's like, "I was just taking a piss." They're all like, "Yeah, me too. Just taking a piss too." They're all zipping up, and he gets busted with them all.
Right.
All these gay men hanging out, blowing each other.
So was
It's like you just kind of rank. That would be like, to know you did it. I think you could get your head around the fact that fuck, it sucks. I got caught. Now I got to sit in here for the rest of my life. But to totally be innocent of a crime,
the ultimate helpless feeling as your life just goes to shit.
He had a daughter born 3 weeks before this.
Oh,
yeah. And he was raped multiple times in jail and got AIDS.
Oh no!
From the rapings, yeah.
No.
Yeah.
How serious, like, is it now?
That's pretty serious. He's got AIDS.
Yeah, it's AIDS.
No, I mean, like, never mind.
Is it like Magic Johnson AIDS?
Well, yeah, that's what I'm kind of what I was getting at.
Yeah. Well, he could probably
like
afford
Liberace.
the Magic Johnson AIDS now because he's got $9.2 million.
Does he have AIDS or not?
That's HIV.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, he's got the HIV. I didn't give him those AIDS. When Don said that, yes. I didn't give him those AIDS. Fucking Don, God love him. So the judge said he talked about how he came to that number, and I'm wondering, with these calculations, how much time would you guys be willing to do?
Whoa. I know what I'm about to ask. I already asked it and it's dumb, but I'm serious. How, with AIDS, how long can he live really? Like,
well, nowadays you can live a long time probably, but you still don't want the AIDS. If you can afford getting the AIDS, especially forcibly,
is it painful?
That's a good thing.
Like, do you have to?
Well, getting it was probably pretty painful. To be raped in jail probably didn't feel good.
I just don't know.
No, I'm sure you're on a regimen of drugs for the rest of your life that
That's what I'm trying to
probably don't make you feel very well.
Yeah,
I'm just guessing.
Yeah.
This judge spent pages in his what do they call
it?
Opinion. Talking about his suffering, which they called extreme, caused by more than 20 years, enduring a world of deprivation permeated by sexual and physical violence and the terror it bred, a world in which he had no privacy, no control over his activities, no connection to his family and friends, and no opportunity to work or raise his only daughter. His sexual victimization, HIV condition, and sex offense conviction fed feelings of shame, stigma, and distrust, similar to symptoms experienced by prisoners of war.
How long was he in there?
22 years.
Oh my God. When did he go in?
But he gets 9.2.
Yeah.
I
mean, dude.
When did he go in?
9.2 million. All your problems are solved. You and Nana can move out together.
How old is he now?
He's like 53 or something.
Oh my God.
I thought he was 18 or 19 when he went in. No?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Those are the best days.
Yeah.
Yeah, he spent the best days of life getting raped in jail.
But he's got 9.2 now.
Yeah. You know what? It would all depend on how severe that AIDS situation is. I'd be traveling the motherfucking.
Let's assume it's manageable.
Okay, let's assume it's manageable. I'd be traveling the motherfucking world, dude, right now. I would just be doing, anything I could. I'd be going everywhere and anywhere, man.
Yeah. Well, they provided this judge provided a model for determining compensation. He calculated damages at $1,000 a day for incarceration,
right?
$250 per day on his time spent on parole, and $200 per day between his exoneration and trial.
Oh, that's pretty steep. $250 a day for parole and $200.
Yeah,
I mean,
but again, you're going through your whole life. I mean, what was the charge? What would he get charged for if you were? I don't know. But
it's murder, right? Rape and murder.
Yeah.
So you're going. You say it's a lot, even though you're paroled, but you're out. You're distressed. People just think you raped and murdered. Oh yeah. Were you being
facetious?
I think he's been out for 10 years now. I think they've just come to the settlement.
Big trial on it.
Yeah, because he's married for 10 years. He met a chick at an HIV support group. And he took up with her, and they've been married for 10 years.
Well, they both have it. So,
attempting to reconnect with his daughter, who was born weeks before his original trial.
What a lucky daughter, huh?
Yeah. Nice, huh?
She's sitting pretty.
Dad's all of a sudden got 9.2.
I bet she's and
AIDS.
I can't believe she's not reaching out to him ASAP.
Yeah,
I found out my dad was
just looking for that silver lining. Aren't
good
you,
news out of DC, man. This chick.
Yeah, for this girl.
Happy.
Great news.
They said he was exonerated in July of 2012 after DNA testing showed he was innocent and that another man, a convicted sex offender, committed the crime for which he was tried and sentenced in 1982 and incarcerated until 2003.
What an asshole.
So what do you think? $1,000 a day? Would you do a year? Pick up $365,000?
You're getting ass raped.
But you're not getting the AIDS. We're not giving you the AIDS in the first year. You might have to blow a guy, but that's it.
I don't think so.
It comes with an extra 10 grand.
I don't think so. I don't know.
You walk out of there with 365 tax free.
Tax free.
If
Yep.
it's tax free.
It is tax free.
But ass raped, I don't know.
No,
man.
I said you just blow the guy.
You'd get used to
Oh,
it.
just blowing?
Yeah. I mean, he's a big guy.
If it's just blowing and no ass rape, then I would do it for 360 for sure.
360,000.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
Yeah. I don't think I would either.
No.
Yeah.
As long as there's no ass raping.
All right. We'll make sure to let Lamont know that.
Okay.
Ass raping is off the table. He is hung though, Ian. You're gonna have to.
So this is the state or the district that's paying this 9.2.
Yeah, and that was the big argument that they were having because the district was like, "Man, this is bullshit. What do we have to do with this?" Because they didn't try him, and let's see, they argued. Attorneys for the city argued that he should be granted no more than 1.1 million in federal damages he'd already received, because his case was handled by the U.S. Attorney's Office.
Damn, he already sued the federal government for one and got 1.1.
And that's a cap. I think that's maxed at 1.1. So that's all he could get
Dude,
there.
I don't care, man. I think it's fine to me that he gets $9 million for freaking 20 years in jail, HIV.
But here's the thing. What was there some, I mean, what was the breach of the standard of care? What was done wrongly other than them not having, do you know what I mean? Like, what did they push through in a negligent way?
Yeah.
It can't just be, hey, you know, they convicted me and I'm found to be innocent through DNA. There had to be, they were railroading him or something.
Yeah.
They had to have shoved aside evidence or done something that was negligent in some way.
Don't they always, if you're wrongfully incarcerated, don't they give you something for that time?
I don't know that to be true. I don't know.
I thought that was the case.
It sounds like, I mean, these things are just, it's kind of a new thing because of the whole DNA thing. And, and they're starting to find, as people get picked up and put in databases, like, holy shit, that guy that just got put in the database for, you know, smacking off outside his neighbor's window, lo and behold, he matches that rape from 12 years ago. And there's a dude sitting in prison right now.
Yeah.
You know, and so they let that guy out. And
yeah.
So I don't know what the standard is. What does the court look at? Just the fact that he was wrongfully incarcerated? It's got to be more than that.
Yeah.
Doesn't it?
Yeah. I don't know, dude. You're right. There has to be more.
You know, they're just without DNA. If this is being prosecuted at the time without the benefit of DNA, what do you want them to do? They're introducing evidence to a jury of this guy's guilt. The jury finds him guilty. There must have been something done where they cast aside evidence that exonerated him in some way. There had to have been.
Maybe. Well, there was another lady, I think yesterday or the day before that got released. I can't remember where she was, Seattle maybe. And she's like an old lady now. She's like 60, 70 years old. She looks like she's 110 years old. And they had DNA evidence that cleared her in a murder. And
I remember that one. The murderer left a cigarette
butt.
And it was just as I described. They found a guy who, for some other
Yeah.
completely unrelated thing, different state, registered through the crime, the sex offender registry, and that matched.
Yeah.
And so she's boom off the hook.
But they convicted her on testimony that she gave or comments she made in a fucking nut house.
Oh,
they went and questioned her at a nut house, and she admitted, you know, through whatever tactics they used on her. Here she is in a psych ward, and they're questioning her. She's like, "Yeah, I guess I killed him." You know, and I don't know. I don't understand that, but they say they could break down anybody if they wanted to. So it's tough. I just can't imagine being sucked into something. You're just walking down the street one day, and you kind of sort of look like some cat. You're wearing the same kind of hat or something, and all of a sudden you're dragged in. They want to close a case. They think
you son of a bitch.
And, dude, and even your family would doubt you. You know, you'd be screaming from I didn't do that. You know, and there'd be some level of doubt within.
Yeah,
even the people closest to you, like,
you're right.
Yeah,
well, he says he didn't do it,
but don't they usually assume that you're right? The doubt would come from the fact that he's been picked up.
Yeah.
So the cop is saying he did it. They're saying they have this evidence.
I just like to believe naively that you can't possibly convict me of a crime if I really honestly didn't do it. It's very hard.
It's very hard
to wrap your
convict
head
somebody.
around that.
And that's how the system's set up, to let 100 guilty people go before one free person is wrongly convicted.
Yeah.
And that's why it's difficult to get a jury to
Yeah.
reach that beyond a reasonable doubt standard
Mhm.
and to unanimously do so.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what the evidence was that they sent this dude away for, but that's just brutal.
That's
I
a
don't-
whole different issue. This story is just about the amount of money he got and why the court believed
Yeah.
that
and
was just.
tying that up, they say we have great sympathy for Mr. Odom. However, we respectfully believe that the district should not have to pay the amount ordered in a case in which it was not involved in prosecuting or convicting the plaintiff, and in which the federal government has already paid Mr. Odom the maximum amount identified by Congress for his incarceration.
Yeah, I mean, you're not involved in the prosecution. How
This-
are you?
Yeah. I don't know.
You're the place where he was imprisoned, so he gets to
Yeah.
collect the money from you. That's bizarre.
Maybe because of retrials or appeals.
Possibly.
Yeah. There was no jury in that either. The jury didn't award that money. That judge did that. So
Get
crazy.
appealed.
More idiots with their phones getting in trouble.
What do we got?
We got a Russian chick, paramedic, Tatiana Kulikova. She's 25 years old. She's been fired by the health officers where she worked after she posted pictures she snapped in the back of the ambulance online. So in one image, she captioned, "Another moron." There's her flipping the bird at a badly injured accident victim. Top picture.
Why would you do that?
Because you're an asshole. Yeah, she's got
An
creepy
accident
looking eyes.
victim.
Yeah.
This poor victim is just in the back of an ambulance, and they're a moron, apparently,
Yeah.
according
Yep.
to Tatiana.
Yep. In another, she sticks up 2 fingers up to a heart attack patient with the title image, "How I Hate My Job." And there she is, like giving the peace sign or something over this guy who's dying. Local health campaigner Artem Gulabev said it's clear that while she was taking these photos, she was not looking after her patients. She shows a callous disregard for the welfare of her patients, some of whom died, and those pictures were taken. When those pictures were taken, I would not be surprised if their families sue both her and the emergency services.
Could you imagine that? Fuck.
Like, what is going through someone's head when they decide that you would print those pictures?
Like, who's getting a kick out of this selfie?
And why are we able to look at these patients' faces not blurred out even?
It's Russia.
Yeah. Is that why? You just made that up, didn't you? It's a very convincing argument, counsel.
Yeah, it's Russia.
Yeah. Oh, okay. They've got a different standard. It just seems like we have ISIS
Russian
members.
lives don't matter.
We have ISIS members in, and they blur out all their faces in the pictures we see. And here's a poor heart attack victim, and this idiot's flipping them off, and they're unblurred. God, Russia's rules are sweet.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Wow.
Bitch.
We'll get to email in just a little bit, but Bruce Jenner, news on Bruce Jenner.
He's going through with it, isn't he?
Oh, hell yeah, he is. It's been less than a year since he and Kris Jenner filed for divorce.
I'm dying to know what he's going to go by since you raised that, the whole
Yeah.
Brucina or
Yeah, Brucey. Well, he started making the transition into a woman. It seems like he's going into this transition full steam ahead. Radar is reporting that Jenner is planning on having the full transformative surgery in late summer.
But wait a minute. What's going on with him killing that person?
And that's kind of the hang up. He was planning on getting the dick and balls removed much sooner until the fatal accident he was involved in, which he's facing vehicular manslaughter charges for.
Oh,
See, I would assume he'd
push things
have
back.
sped it up so that he could quickly get into a female prison if that is to.
Unless, what if the deal is that he likes the other?
Guy likes guys though because he's a girl.
I don't know how that works. Is he
I'm
going to
just
be a
thinking of
lesbian?
treatment? I'm just thinking. I'm not thinking of, whether he's going to get off with somebody in prison. I'm thinking, do you really want to look like a tranny going into a male prison?
I don't even think they'd put you in there. Would they? In the population, they wouldn't put Bruce Jenner in the regular population anyways.
Another argument to be a tranny, I guess. get into Planet Fitness and
Yeah,
You're
go
right,
watch
Jay.
chicks shower.
If I decide, if I ever get convicted of something where I'm going to go to some serious jail time, I'm just going to claim that I identify as a woman and that I shouldn't be in the male populace.
all you have to do is get famous enough.
It
Like,
almost
if this show
works-
gets big enough,
I'm trying.
then it doesn't matter. They won't put you in the general pop anyways. If
It
you're a
almost
celebrity.
worked for Klinger on MASH.
Did it?
Not
Oh, my-
quite, but it almost did.
Klinger. I forgot about him.
He tried his best.
Yeah, that's right.
But now we're more accepting of these gender. I don't know when that was, but I'm guessing it was.
Yeah, that was the Korean War.
Oh, the show.
Well, it was about the Korean War.
I assumed when you said, you know what, when you said from MASH, I honestly assumed you were talking about a person on the show. He was on the show, but this happened in his real life. It happened on the show.
Yeah.
Oh.
Klinger, dude.
Yeah.
I'm not an old
Jamie
person.
Farr.
Yeah, I was never a big MASH fan either. But
I wasn't
know,
either, but I know the main characters.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever watched a full
Jamie
episode
Farr.
of MASH.
Can't picture him.
No, I've never
He
watched
was
a
the
full episode.
tranny on the show.
Kind of a big nosed dude.
The
He's
only-
from Toledo.
The only thing I
Yeah.
know about MASH is that there was, I think, a guy that was like a drunk.
There you go.
And then there was like the ending was such this big deal where they're like flying away and it said goodbye, or I don't remember something.
Yeah,
about going
I
away.
think that episode, the final episode of MASH, was the most watched TV event.
Yeah.
Until there-
something pretty recent. I
Yeah.
forget what that was.
I don't know if anyone could beat MASH as far as that goes.
Thought a Super Bowl just beat it or something. I don't know.
I thought something
Maybe. But certainly not as far as sitcom
I don't think so.
television. And that'll never be broken just because there's so many options now that you just didn't have back then.
Yeah, that's
Three
true.
channels,
Yeah.
you know, there was just nothing else to watch. He was planning on having this surgery sooner, but because of that accident, it's pushed things back for Bruce. He's increased his therapy visits to twice a week due to both the accident and the surgery. The therapy was required by a doctor that will be performing his sex change operation. It has also helped Bruce tremendously. If anyone was wondering whether or not this transition was a publicity stunt, apparently not. I still can't wrap my head around the fact that this.
Yeah, Jay was right.
What?
2010 Super Bowl.
2010?
It said it was the highest rated. Was it? And from 1983 until 2010, Goodbye, Farewell, and Amen remained the most watched television broadcast in American history, passed only in total viewership, but not in ratings or share in February 2010 by the Super Bowl.
Who played in that Super Bowl?
2010? I don't know.
Does
the
it say?
Saints, maybe. Seems
I
like
don't know that.
Yeah,
Saints,
I know,
Saints
we
Colts.
draw-
Saints Colts.
Saints Colts, Drew Brees and Peyton
Man.
Manning.
it's a big one.
Wow, that surprises me.
Do you remember the sex change operation this guy did? That's the guy that leaked
Oh,
the
yeah.
national security. He
I
was
do
Bradley Manning and became Chelsea.
Oh yeah,
I do remember that.
Yep.
While he was in a military brig.
There's a couple of them that have done that. Who's the other one? The fucking like SEAL or something?
Remember off the top of my head.
Lady Valor.
Yeah.
Lady Valor.
Lady Valor.
Yeah, you're right.
Never
his
heard
name?
of it.
And he looked very manly in everything he did.
Former Navy SEAL, changing it all around.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Chris something.
Kristen back.
Kristen Beck.
Kristen, yes.
Yeah, I totally. Oh yeah, I remember
Yeah.
that big time.
You don't want to fuck with that dude though.
Girl,
I mean, yeah, girl. Sorry,
lady.
My bad. I
Hey, nothing
apologize.
like a tranny story to move into a Zot read. Zot
Sure.
Ford has it all. Not only do they give the Detroit Cast listeners the best prices on new and pre-owned vehicles, they also have the best service deals in town. Right now, Zot Ford's offering all their friends from the Detroit Cast a $19.95 oil change special, which also includes a free brake and safety inspection. That's right. Just roll into Zot Ford, doing your best to avoid Big E and his skankiness, and tell them the Detroit Cast sent you. Now, not only will they get you the $19.95 oil change deal, but they will also get you 15% off any additional service work you need done. So check out their deals and their massive inventory online at zotford.com.
Very good. What do we got for email, buddy?
We have a few emails. Let's see here. We had a theme today.
Uh-oh. That's never good.
Every now and then we
Who's
have
in
a
trouble?
theme.
Who's in trouble?
The two gentlemen who joined us yesterday,
Oh no, Matt and Bill.
Matt and Bill.
Matt with an
one T,
yeah.
Bill
All
with
right.
two L's.
Yep.
It seems that some listeners didn't take kindly to the comments from the peanut gallery.
Oh boy.
Yeah,
There may
some-
have been some beers going around.
Some more forcefully than others, but I think Paula says it well when she says, I think she speaks for several of these listeners when she says, those guys who were over on Monday's show were so annoying. All you can hear was them repeating crap in the background to try to get a laugh. Don't let them back. And then she did like a gagging face.
Gagging face.
Yeah. Check it out.
Yeah, there's a gagging face.
Oh wow.
You ever seen that? I've never seen that one.
That's funny. No, I haven't.
Is it got a fat line?
No fat line. It's somebody could take offense to this. Not
Yeah.
sure who, but
Anybody with issues puking?
yep. Shelly writes in,
bulimics.
hey guys, and Fukfase. I'm not sure who the guys would be versus the Fukfase.
I'm assuming that I'm part of the guys and someone else is.
See, I was thinking the exact opposite.
Oh,
that
I was thinking we
would
were
be
the guys, you were the Fukfase.
Yeah, just guessing.
I'm listening to number 296, and you're talking about the pigment in the eye reminding you of the pigment.
Yeah.
I'm in aesthetics school, and hyperpigmentation is a common term used often. And all I can think of is that ugly fat fuck's face. And here you're saying exposed erect penis. Every time
Showed her
she hears
breasts.
the word hyperpigmentation.
Pigman. When's that son of a bitch's trial going to start?
God damn it, I can't wait. Anyway, thanks for the constant laughs. And then she gives us a
Pick up my little
smoochy
buddy yet?
face. We got a smoochy face
Nice.
from Shelly.
The emoticons are getting more sultrous. Is that right, Jay?
Sultry.
Sultry, yeah.
We're sultrous.
Is that a word or no?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Ryan writes in. Ryan was the inspiration for our Kickstarter. So you recall Ryan, of course.
I do. When we were snapping rubber bands at each other during our all-important meeting with them.
Yes. Yeah.
Very unprofessional by you.
Hey, Jay, my wife and I went to South Africa for a safari the past 2 weeks. And so I listened to the podcast on the
that's
flight
a
home.
big ooh.
Really rubbing it in, huh?
Well, he's getting to a point, though. One of the things we visited while in Cape Town were the penguins. I wanted to make sure that I got a photo with my TDC hat and the penguins. I think this is the furthest south any TDC memorabilia has been.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's quite a distinction. Check them out.
Wow.
Here's a photo of me and the penguins in beautiful Boulders Beach, South Africa.
Dude, I love the white hat. I'm gonna be
That's
honest.
awesome. Yeah, the white hat does look sweet, doesn't it?
And it looks good in that picture.
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 Look at those penguins.
Yeah, look at
just
those
behind it.
penguins. Look at them. Ah. Look at those
Dude,
poos.
where Africa, he said?
South Africa.
South Africa. God, how
Boulders Beach, South
awesome
Africa.
that somebody is here in South Africa with a fucking degree.
The furthest south. I'll bet he's right. I'm not sure anybody's been further south with
I
TDC memorabilia.
Wouldn't
Says
doubt
the
it.
show
I
gets
bet
better
someone
every day.
has.
Keep it up, Ryan. Thanks, Ryan.
So we're better
That's
today than
great.
last day.
Did you see, by the way, they the it might have been Africa, that family on a safari and the lion comes up to the door and opens the door.
No.
Yeah, I don't know if Timco, if you want to see if you can find that real quick. It went viral as shit the other day.
So they're on a real safari. This isn't one of those stupid drive-through safari
It
deals.
might be a drive.
Okay.
I don't know.
Where the animals are completely comfortable. The baboons will jump up on your hood. And,
yeah, check them out.
all right, this is a drive-through
Yeah, because they're just in their
safari
car.
park in like West Virginia or something. And there's a lion at the door. Holy shit. Holy shit.
Look at that poos.
Oh my gosh, I didn't know they could do that.
With no opposable thumbs.
Son of a bitch. Look at that son of a bitch.
I didn't know they could do that.
Get a little bastard. Look
Yeah,
at
they
him.
probably generally
Yeah.
can't.
Isn't that funny?
That's awesome.
Overreaction.
I would think that would be just standard operating procedure to lock the doors when you go somewhere like that. I mean, that's not like the first time that's happened.
roll up the windows, lock the doors. You would, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I think I drove through one of those as a kid,
really?
and I think I remember a baboon. Because that whole baboon sitting on the hood. I think that actually happened to us, where he just came up and sat on the hood, and my dad didn't want to like go because he was afraid the baboon was going to fall and break his neck or something. It's
Oh
like,
yeah.
fucking baboon. They're agile.
Yeah.
Don't worry about the boon. He'll be fine.
Yeah. Bill wasn't going to risk it.
No, he wasn't. He's a careful guy like that. Melissa writes in, hey guys, she talked to us last Friday about moving in her new house, and she has the two kitty cats she mentioned.
Yeah.
She sent us pictures of the poos.
Yeah, poos.
Yeah. Check out the poos. Yeah. Look at the poos.
Oh my god.
Look at that little poos.
I don't know. The actual poos is coming over to check it out. Great.
Oh, we woke her up.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a nice white one with the black.
Oh my goodness. I love cats.
Dude,
We know.
I got the two kittens going right now. They're fun, man.
I mean Biggie and Truck or whatever?
No, it's Truck, Moose, and Tank.
Yeah. Truck is like a tank.
Steven writes in, gents, isn't the idea of paying for sex to get something you can't obtain? And of course, Steven's referring to Biggie's strange reasoning yesterday on wanting like ugly hookers.
Yeah.
Not ugly, but
Just not
can't-
hot.
You just can't. The thing is, You just said it right, Jay. It's not more. It's a self-loathing thing more than it's not has anything.
It's bizarre. But Steven continues, you can drunkenly bang mediocre chicks anywhere, but paying for it? Also, pretty sure it's illegal to have sex with girls that are on E's level, retardation, blah, blah, fuck yourself or whatever.
I would say that if I got to the level
been a retarded hooker?
Has to have been, right?
Maybe.
I would say if I got to the point where I was like some, like a Charlie Sheen who was banging some of these 20,000. Like I wouldn't, if I was fucking like Charlie Sheen, I understand him fucking paying for fucking top end tail. But for me, it's this creep in a fucking, like I'm in Grand Rapids in a hotel room. It just, I know I can't explain. I tried again, so no one's gonna believe me. But like,
it makes no sense.
The idea of paying a girl that's hot, it feels like I would just get too in my own head about it.
So stupid.
I know, but
dude, you're paying for something.
I know, but I
it's a
feel
transaction.
Why don't you get the most out of your money that you can?
I said it yesterday, but I'll
you're
say
an
it
unreasonable consumer.
No, I said it yesterday, and I'll say it again. It gets like in my own head. If they're hot, it's more weird because they're really judging me more than they would have if they were like not hot. I think like
like I said yesterday, the only reason that would make sense is if the reasoning and the thought process was, she's hot enough that other people are banging her more than the ugly one. So I want someone that's not
that doesn't bother
road
me.
hard. But
it's
well, whatever.
I don't. You see the same phenomenon though in strip clubs. If you go into strip clubs and there's a 10 on stage, she's not. I mean, maybe she's getting more dances, but there are chicks you look at and you're like, oh my god, and they're getting dances too. So it's like there are guys looking at this smorgasbord and someone's picking that one. You're like, wow, okay. You're not charging more. You know what I mean? $20 for a dance.
It's weird.
Yeah.
Dave writes in, is there anywhere online that I can find Big E's stand-up?
Yes, there is.
Where can he go?
On my own Facebook. David Helm posted a video of it.
All right. So what's your name on Facebook now?
My name.
Okay. It used to be Fancy.
Yes,
so,
I've changed it for at least 2 months or so now, I think.
All right. Well, Dave was confused because he said during Beth's intro, it seems like she's saying Fahey, but then he says we seem to call him Fady. His Twitter name is Eric Fancy.
No, it isn't. My Twitter name is Big E at DetroitCast.com, and it has been for about 3 months.
He must mean Facebook.
Months. Yeah.
He's probably not been there in a while. So yeah, go to Big E's Facebook page and check him out. Would you say Helm posted one?
Yeah, the only problem I will say right now, it's kind of a bitch because I had all those birthday wishes on.
Well, where did we go that one time when Mike was gone? We pulled up a piece of your stand-up. Where was that? Or is that too old YouTube. Now? You don't even want to point people to that?
Don't go to that. Mainly because I feel decent about what happened. The only problem, it is on my wall, but I had all these freaking birthday things, so you have to dig down for it. Maybe I'll share it. You know what? I'll share it onto the fan page today.
Okay.
Or something. I'll share it onto the fan page.
It's funny that you mentioned your birthday because Dave points out in this very email that you are actually 31.0547 years old today.
Hey, happy birthday. I suppose.
Dave also wonders aloud, does Big E think that if he just fucking does Big E think that if he just fucking comes out already that we will hate him or stop listening to the show?
Maybe.
Somebody tell that boy that it's 2015 and nobody gives a shit anymore. I feel like we're dealing with pre-1997 Ellen DeGeneres. You're a nice guy and a likable character on the show. You're not fooling anyone. It's kind of awkward, buddy.
It's more awkward that you called me nice and likable to me, but
true. I agree with that. It's the smartest thing you've ever said.
Monster.
I'm not gay.
Yet.
No.
I mean, currently, yet. But,
I like vagines. Well, kind of. Not really. I like I like putting my penis in them, but I don't really like anything else about them.
Dude, you were there. You had the denial, and then you
pull us back in.
It's just remarkable. It's fucking remarkable.
Has any totally straight man in the history of mankind ever said, I don't like vagines?
You know what I'm just realizing? I just have an awkwardness. No. Let me say this. I just have an awkwardness with the human body. I don't fucking like anything. Today, like my grandma.
Go ahead.
No, she just burped. She burped. And I was like, and it grossed me out. I was like, that's gross.
It kind of grossed me out just now, too. Nana burping. Oh, man.
Big old medicine burp out of Nana.
I've never been a guy who thought,
Metamucil.
I think farts. I think farts are funny in a way, but I don't like hearing them.
Yeah,
I don't
but you
like
don't want Nana Lightner farts or something.
No, but I don't like hearing people burp. I think it's great. I think in general, I just have an issue with the human body, guy or female.
Except for stalks, for some reason.
Yeah,
No problem with them.
No, I don't like those either.
I guess we'll save the rest for tomorrow.
All right. Well, thanks for hanging with the show, everybody.
You should tell people to vote again.
Yeah, the podcast awards, and Big E is going to go. Big E's going to be there.
So if you want to see an awkward fucking victory speech, tell some people to start voting or whatever.
Yeah. Podcastawards.com.
Gross. I don't like hearing them.
Podcastawards.com, and nominated for 2 things. And make sure you check your spam folder
to get the verification.
Yeah, they have sent me a couple verifications when I've voted, so it's not like they do it one time and that's it. So just be heads up for that. And it's really simple. Click link here, bang, hit it. It says it's gone through. That's as simple as it gets. So the comedy one and the People's Choice are the ones that we're nominated for. And how awesome would it be to see Big E on stage?
Fuck yeah! Fuck yeah! Block it up. Suck it. Suck it.
Suck it.
You realize we're gonna have to write something for him now, win or lose. We have to like prepare him sort of.
I'll be able to, I can get the obligatory.
Do you really think Jay's gonna send you there and let you wing it?
The obligatory.
This is for the fans. Thanks for the fans.
Just won a worldwide award. We're gonna give the obligatory.
Yeah.
No, E, we got to think this through, you son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You're going there representing not just yourself.
Oh. Yeah. I just want.
This is all about you telling people at Lakeland High to suck it.
And being
all you people that wouldn't invite me to your parties in high school, suck it.
Yeah, fuck you guys.
Mandy, suck it. Annie, suck it.
Yeah, look where I am now, bitches.
That's Adam Carolla right there. Suck it. Throw the award down and break it.
Yeah, fuck this shit.
Peace, I'm out. So
well,
yeah.
Anyway, if you want to see that,
let's make that happen. Let's get E to be on TV or somewhere, anywhere.
E, doughy, supple.
Yeah, I thought that's your fault. You were going to work on that.
We're working on that. We're
starting in earnest.
All right. Well, have a good rest of the day, everybody, and we'll see you guys tomorrow for an all new Wednesday edition of the Detroit Cast.
You've been listening to the Detroit Cast with your hosts, Mike and Jay. From all of us at Radio for One Studios, thank you for listening. And as always, thank you, Detroit.
Listen to God, watch you grow.